gold on the channel. We got a BMW E46 with the infamous ZHP package. We bought this car about a month ago. It was wrecked.
Flashback.
Essentially, to get this back together,
What follows is a brief construction montage.
we needed to get a new hood, we needed to get a new whole core support, new radiator, new AC condenser. We also opted with some go with some different wheels. We changed a whole lot of maintenance hoses and maintenance items, a lot of new sensors, a lot of new components, just to get rid of the whole Christmas tree on the dashboard. And as you guys can see, we got this car looking pretty fantastic. Let's do some B-roll. Bought this car, it was completely missing the muffler, and on these BMWs, muffler deletes sound great. So we just decided to weld on some pipes without the muffler in place. The rest of the exhaust system is stock, but it sounds fantastic. I'll play a clip for you guys right now. Opted to go with some newer LED taillights because the original ones that came here, the guy painted like the whole thing red and it just used the old conventional bulbs. So the LED is a very nice upgrade. Your boy couldn't just leave the wheels alone. This deal found me. I didn't even find this deal. 19-inch E46 M3 facelift wheels with good tires. 300 bucks. They were painted black, but we did a paint strip. Then we did a little bit of wet sand and we polished the fuck out of these, and we have some fantastic, gorgeous looking wheels right here. They fill the gap up real nice, and the car is lowered on some H&R springs. That's why it's sitting like this. I don't know if you guys can tell, I'm really proud of this fitment. I mean, this shit looks fucking fantastic. These 19-inch wheels really fill the gap up nicely. And they're staggered, and see, the M3 has a wider body, and I wasn't expecting these wheels to actually fit as good as they do, but I mean, fuck, look at that. The rear tire is a little stretched. That's why it fits so good in the rear, but that's stock body. That's not M3 body in the back. That's just regular 3 Series body, and that fitment is fucking phenomenal. When we got the new hood, I decided to opt for the gloss black grills. Got these on eBay. We got some original OEM blue badges because this car had some of those carbon fiber bullshit one. We got a new license plate delete because the other one was really scratched. We got some brand new fog lights on eBay because we were missing one of them. This is actually the original bumper from the car. And this hood, believe it or not, we got this at the junkyard, 40 bucks. And guess what? It was jet black. Schwartz jet black. Paint matches exactly, so no repainting was necessary over here. We reused the original bumper. We just put a new core support. But this hood was never needed to be painted. These fenders weren't affected at all. We had to bend it back a little bit on here and just touch it up a little bit, but I mean, fuck, not bad. New headlights, we got some clear corner markers. I feel like these are just a nicer, newer look. These ZHP's got these nice little brake ducts to cool the brakes. So there's airflow going to cooling the brakes. Pop the hood. So it pops flawless in the first try. Okay guys, underneath the hood, we put a brand new core support on because the original one was crumpled, along with the top of the hoods, but the hood is brand new now. New core support, new hood. While we were in here, we decided to get rid of the clutch fan because it sounded like a school bus. We did an electric fan conversion, and as you guys can see, it's actually a direct bolt-on. Basically, you remove the clutch fan from the water pump. You remove the front fan. It's held on by some screws over here. I'll put up a clip of me removing it. But you take that out and unplug this fan in the front, and basically the new clutch fan plugs up to the same exact ports as the front fan, but you only need one. And it has a direct slide in onto the radiator mount. So this is just a direct swap, and it's probably one of the best mods you could do to your E46 because those clutch fans like to explode, plus they create more resistance on the pulleys. Basically, your engine spins more freely when you don't have additional weight on it. We put a brand new expansion tank, brand new upper lower coolant hoses. The K&N carb certified intake was already here. Very nice addition. It's like a $300-400 intake. We're just missing the little shield. I don't know if you guys have an idea if I can just make one, because I can't find this shield anywhere, and I don't really want to buy this whole intake again for me to just get the shield from it, because that would be a little waste of money. At the junkyard, we found this awesome carbon fiber strut brace. I could not pass up on this because I got this and like a whole bunch of other things for 40 bucks. So I was like, ah, shit. We can't go wrong with that. We replaced the fuel breather valve right here. It's we kept getting like the check gas cap light on. Basically, this vents the fuel tank. This fuel tank vent breather valve. What else did we replace? Replaced a lot of shit. We replaced the whole thermostat housing right here. See, on BMWs, I'd recommend highly to replace the whole cooling system basically, because it's all made out of plastic. So we got a new thermostat and thermostat housing. We recharged the AC condenser with some Freon, so we actually have ice cold AC. Okay, basically, we got the original cube trim because we were fully missing it. Basically, the previous owner fully took it out and just, I guess, sold it. I couldn't believe it, I found some E46 rubber floor mats, which were a nice addition because we didn't have any floor mats in this car. I upgraded this footrest. I'll put the link in the description. This is basically a M3 metal footrest because this original one was cracked. This was 85 bucks at the dealership, brand new. I tried putting one in from the E46 M3 coupe and that did not work. We cleaned up the interior a lot of this car. This trim I was actually able to get, believe it or not, this trim goes for around $400 or $500. This cube ZHP specific trim. I was able to get this for about 150 bucks. I just had to do a lot of gluing and a lot of fixing and bending back, but this trim is just phenomenal looking. I mean, look at that trim. We were fully missing it before. Got it here. Here. We upgrade. See, the only piece of trim that we had from the car that wasn't touched was this one right here. We got, we cleaned up the steering wheel a lot. Steering wheel's super dirty. I just used a bunch of wet wipes and microfibers, and that cleaned up real well. We upgraded the stereo here. Now I'm gonna turn the car on so you guys can see. Upgraded the stereo. And there's BMW logo here. Let's turn these. We got Navi, Bluetooth, everything in this thing. I'll let it just start up. Navigation is loading. See, I feel like this, literally, I think it's like 150, 60, something around there, 150, 160 on eBay, this radio. But this made this car feel maybe 10 times newer, maybe 10 years newer. This is a touchscreen. Basically, you get Bluetooth in here. You get all sorts of functions. You could even do TPMS. You got a fucking calculator in here. Look at that. You want to do 5 plus 5. Look at that shit. You got to do some fucking quick crypto math. See how much you're going to make on Shiba next year. You could fucking type that in real quick. Get some cool clocks. Regardless, the Navi is what really did it. You get a fucking touchscreen here. You could even find like gas stations. Although I would, if I were to do this again, I bought the Windows one. I bought like the cheapest one they had on eBay, the stereo. I would opt for Android or the Apple CarPlay one, because this has sometimes some issues connecting to my phone, disconnecting. For a much smoother experience, I would opt for like an Android or a Apple CarPlay one, but regardless, still a phenomenal upgrade. From the junkyard, we got a new shift knob because the old one was just fully peeling up. Cleaned up these Alcantara suede shift boots. Basically, we got this car looking pretty phenomenal. We got rid of all the errors on the dashboard. Let me clip in the seatbelt so you guys can see. It's a beautiful, error-free dashboard. It's a very rare sight. This was a full-on Christmas tree right here. That's rare to see. Muffler lead sounds fantastic. And basically, the cool thing about this radio swap is basically there was a cubby down here where this AC control is. What you do is you pull out that cubby, and then you pull out the original radio, and you pull out the climate control that sits up here. You transport it to the bottom. It's a direct clip-on. It's literally meant for this, because the newer cars that come with the widescreens, they come like this from the factory. It's literally a direct swap, and this is probably the best upgrade you could do to this car. We cleaned up the rear seats a little bit. We just tried to make this car look presentable, and I feel like we accomplished that. Okay, and also when I got the car, we were fully missing this key lock cylinder here. But the beautiful thing is, on eBay, 20 bucks, you get 2 extra keys, and now you could actually at least lock the car and unlock the car. You can, the cool thing, I'll show you guys a cool feature. You lock the car, and then you hold this. It'll close all the windows and the sunroof. Hold that. See, look at that. If this wasn't the ZHP package, I wouldn't have even bothered rebuilding this car. But what makes this car really unique and really rare is this performance package right here. $3,900 option, but that gives you sport suspension, sport seats. It just changes the whole dynamic. Different steering rack, different sway bars, different shocks, different trim, bumpers, different gear ratio, different cluster, steering wheel, trim. You get a different tune on the transmission, different ECU tune. You get a higher red line. The red line on this car is, I believe, 6,900, and it's raised from 65. I might be wrong, I might be off, but it's 300 RPM higher than a regular standard 3 Series. Get these red needles in the cluster. Just, this is a totally different, this car has a totally different soul than a regular 3 Series. You get this nice black headliner. All the 2003 models are stick shift, and in 2004 they actually offered the automatic transmission. So it's actually a pretty rare car with the automatic transmission. There's only like 200, I checked, 200, I think like 70 something of these in the whole US with an automatic transmission in this color combo, which is a pretty rare car, considering that most of them have been disassembled or crashed by now. I'm gonna attempt some donuts. I've never done donuts in this car. We'll see how it goes. I just want to celebrate completing this car finally, and it's time to, you know, get these videos out there. Let's see what happens. That was more fun than you could imagine. Hope you guys enjoyed.